Hi. So on the May episode of MSM Live, monster handler Matt made a comment that raises a few questions regarding a certain seasonal monster. While hinting about when the new rare auxiliary seasonals will be releasing, and not to brag, but I totally called it in my 2023 prediction video, that they'll be releasing in their out-of-season promotion. During this, Matt said that the one exception to this rule was a rare Jamboree. He proceeded to follow up this with saying that Jamboree may not be an auxiliary seasonal, nor a core seasonal. So in this video, I'll be discussing what Jamboree actually could be, and what this means for future seasonal content. Now, before I start, I should bring up the elephant in the room, and point out the fact that at no point during this discussion did Matt say his signature "bah," which, in the context of important, new, or upcoming content, usually means he's hinting at something, so it's very likely this was just an unplanned tangent that has no real effect on the lore, and is just a red herring. However, I'll be looking at different possibilities regardless. Take these theories with a grain of salt, since they're stemming from a very sketchy implication, as opposed to an implied statement. Let's start by going through all the differences Jamboree has compared to other auxiliary seasonals. For one, it's the only seasonal monster whose event predates them. All core seasonals, plus Gobbledygord, were added alongside the first celebration of their event, and the other auxiliary seasonals were added before their event. However, Jamboree was added 8 years after the celebration of the first anniversary month. Second, Jamboree was the only auxiliary seasonal first found on Seasonal Shanty who wasn't added to the island that celebrates their event a year after their release, that being Gold Island. It was finally added 2 years after its initial release. Third, Jamboree is the only seasonal to take up 3 beds. It's not, however, the only seasonal to take up more than 1 bed, with both Schmoochel and Bookworm taking up 2. Jamboree also takes up a 3x3 area, unlike all other seasonals who take up a 2x2 area or smaller. Anniversary Month is also the only event that hasn't made any change to the mess of decorations on Seasonal Shanty. So far, all events have either had their decorations implemented upon Seasonal Shanty's release, or have been added when the event was celebrated in 2022 or 2023. Anniversary Month also doesn't follow the pattern for its seasonal decorations. Normally, a seasonal event has 4 decorations, 2 of which cost coins, and the other 2 cost diamonds. I know Spooktacle has extra decorations, but those are promotional, similar to the MSM Playground decorations. However, Anniversary Month has more than 10, and they all cost coins. And due to where the event is celebrated, it's the only event to not have any event-themed obstacles. Plus, the Seasonal Island skin is the only one that isn't available for purchase, and has no boosts. Finally, Jamboree is the only seasonal to not have a defining adjective to their class. They are just seasonal, with their event in brackets. Unlike the core and auxiliary seasonals, which have core or aux as clarifiers before seasonal, Jamboree used to have aux, and I'm not sure exactly when this change was made, but sources say it happened in the update when it was added to Gold Island, making it so Jamboree could go to Gold Island, and wouldn't imply the other auxiliary seasonals would be coming. I honestly know why this change had to be made, but I really wish this community showed itself to be a bit more professional in the masses, so less expectation is put on the creators to show this game isn't just for kids. There are other differences, but these are the most significant. My first theory is that Jamboree may be the most important seasonal, on a level higher than the core seasonals, especially considering its seasonal event is the longest, spanning nearly 5 weeks, and the most important, marking the birthday of MSM. This is further proved by the fact that all the other auxiliary seasonals since the 10th anniversary have been about 2 weeks each. Its breeding combo of Punkleton and Hula is also pretty special, since Spooktacle was the first ever seasonal event celebrated, and Summer Song is tied with Festival of Yay for the second longest event, spanning about 4 weeks. The most recent Festival of Yay was shortened to only 3 weeks, and is now the length of the other core seasonal events. This is probably to leave big enough gaps between it and Feastember and Crescendo Moon. However, Summer Song stayed the same 4-week-long event it's been in the recent history. My next theory goes in the complete opposite direction, and I theorize that Jamboree isn't a seasonal at all. It could just be a random monster who inhabits Seasonal Shanty and likes Anniversary Month. Anniversary Month always stood out among the other seasonal events in early MSM, since it's the only one that wasn't based on a real-world celebration, but instead marks the start of MSM. Others have come out that share this property, like Perplexplorer and Life Formula, but Anniversary Month was the first. If this is true, then we could see another seasonal monster in the future. Since more islands will be coming, people will want these islands to celebrate events too. We already have auxiliary seasonals for all breeding combos for the core seasonals, so there won't be any possibilities. But if Jamboree turns out to be not a seasonal, then the Puckleton and Hula breeding combo opens up. Stemming from my previous theory, we could see Jamboree come into a role similar to Catalyst and Sugarbush, and breed with the core seasonals to produce new seasonals. I first thought that maybe they could do a kind of triple element seasonal system where core seasonals bred with auxiliary seasonals, but that would add at least 10 new seasonal events, which is just way too many. However, if we think about this Jamboree in a Catalyst role, only breeding with the core seasonals, then only 5 new events would be added. Similar to Jamboree, these new seasonals could celebrate the birthday of something. The addition of these new events may have already started, since we already have Month of the Mythical, which could very easily be celebrated on Mythical Island. We could get an event like Sugarfest, marking the debut of Sugarbush, celebrated on Sugarbush Island. We could get one called the Spark of Life, celebrating Wubbox on Wublin Island. And bringing back one of my previous ideas, we could get one called Celestial Repose, celebrating the Celestials on Celestial Island. With the addition of Ethereal Workshop, we could see an event celebrating the discovery of the Ethereals there. My final idea could be an interesting one, where we could see an event celebrated on Tribal Island. I'm not sure what it would be about, but it could be the celebration of Cana and the Fire Element. I don't know how getting the seasonal on that island would work, but that's why I saved it for last, because it's the least likely. If these events were to be added, I doubt they'd be as big as the auxiliary seasonal events, which get whole updates dedicated to them, with special decorations and costumes. These new seasonal events may just be low-key celebrations that include a few promotions here and there, nothing too special like costumes or anything. Just a new seasonal on one of the islands, along with seasonal shanty. Maybe if they want to get spicy, they could add an island skin, but I doubt it. If I were to give them a name, I'd call them anniversaries. These are my main theories that I was able to come up with. Just remember that none of this will likely happen, and Matt's comment was probably just a spur-of-the-moment joke, but new islands will be coming in the future, and fans will soon want seasonal events on them too. Opening up Jamboree's breeding combo for a new auxiliary seasonal on Shanty adds a bit of leeway. Now, leave your ideas in the comments below. I'd love to see what other theories are out there. And don't forget to subscribe, and look out for my next video coming this December.